Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Good morning and welcome to the center. Glad you're here.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Lvcsl. Hi, Jenny. We miss you. We wish you were here. We hope you're having a good time in the Philippines.
Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is the body is not an apology. So if it's comfortable for you, lower your eyes or close your eyes. And I'm going to talk about the science of mind definition of body. The outward form, the entire manifestation of spirit, both visible and invisible, is the body of God. Within this one body of God is included all lesser bodies. This one body is coupled with the intelligence running through it. It is called the Son, or the second person of the Trinity. This includes man, both visible and invisible. It also includes every gradation of consciousness, from the simple to the complex, from a cell to an archangel. It is the manifestation of spirit on any and all planes. Body is the definite outline of the flesh, containing all of the ideas which go to make the complete physical instrument. And knowing that our bodies are a magnificent definition and vision of perfection, I like to read this beautiful saying, knowing that you are it. In the infinite life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. My life is ever new. Each moment of my life is a new and fresh and vital. I use my affirmative thinking to create exactly what I want. This is a new day. I am a new me. I think differently. I speak differently. I act differently. Others treat me differently. My new world is a reflection of my new thinking. It is a joy and delight to know I have planted new seeds, for I know these seeds will become my new experiences. All is well in my world. I am so grateful for this new body, for this new day. And if it's comfortable for you, please return back to the room. And so it is. Namaste.
We have a beautiful song by
Melissa Philippe. It's called There Is Only Purpose. Let's pray. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart, yes. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God. And if you would please close your eyes, take in a very deep breath, and blow it out, and just be here now. Let the rest of the morning just float away. And absolutely know that as we are present in this moment, we are the divine sitting here, expressing ourselves into the best of who we are. This power, this love, this God, this universal mind is ours. And together, as one, we perform miracles every day. Each moment in our life, we get to choose what we want in our life. And I say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you for this opportunity that we can continue to express ourselves into the best of who we are, to the best of who we wish to become. And as I know that I stand here and I hold this truth within myself, knowing of the joy and the love and the happiness that I exude in every moment of every day, that I am the face of God. And that each person's eyes that I look into, they are reflecting back to who I am and who I represent. What a joy and what a great knowing of the great opportunity that we have to create this wonderful world that we choose to live in. And as I relished into this opportunity and just sit with this, knowing that I am this love, this greatness, and that each person here is that they are, this greatness and this love. And I'm glad that we joined here today to be part of this whole, to bring forth into our community of the beauty and the love and the joy and the happiness and the excitement of living each day to its fullest. And I say thank you to all of the volunteers, for all of the sound people, for our wonderful music, for Julius, for all of the opportunities to put this on social media, that we are here today and we are alive. And we get to be and represent who we want to be. Thank you to all the volunteers that make this such a special place, and to our ministers
who bring forth this wonderful inspiration station that we get to call the Center for Spiritual Living. And I say thank you for this place that I get to call home. And as I release this word to the universe, knowing that it is done, these words are released, and they have happened now. And I say thank you, God. I release, I let go, and together we say,
and so it is.
Between Mickey's prayer and Gina's center, we are ready to go. Dave said, you might be.
Our drummer, though.
We've had a time with our drummer, let me tell you.
If it's comfortable for you, please say with me, God bless America and the rest of the world. Turn to a neighbor and say good morning. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I accept things the way they are. I accept things the way they are. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I love wisdom. she'll bring me down. Oh, today.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I say Happy New Year, and I know it's February.
It's all right.
Good to be with you this morning. The theme for February is all the colors of love. All the colors of life. All the colors of who we really are in spirit and in truth. But today I'm going to talk about body and in the body human. The topic title is The Body is Not an Apology. Not an apology. And some of you have already apologized for your bodies so far this morning. What did the wind blow in? You know, I think I will take another table because I have a book, if you don't mind. So the human body, thank you. The human body has been called many things. My favorite is sacred and aspirational, the temple of the living spirit. That's my favorite. Now, how many got up this morning, looked in the mirror, got dressed, and said, "Good morning, temple of the living spirit"? No. Sometimes people, maybe nobody here, but some people someplace do something called body shaming. Have you ever heard of that?
Never.
Never heard of it, okay. It's that self-talk that's negative and maybe critical of this beautiful body that we all have. Some of these concepts are, listen as I say them and see if you've ever heard it, ever said it. I am too old, too young, too fat, too thin, too short, too tall, too weak, too strong. Does that sound like anybody you ever heard? And that's not all. Too lazy, too dumb, too smart, too poor, too worthless, too serious, too stuck, too scared, and too rich. Did anybody say they're too rich? We have a cure for that. So this revered, beloved, divine temple of our spirit is amazing. It's really amazing. And there was a professional practitioner. Just practitioners that are here today, would you raise your hand so people can see who you are? I know you're wearing the white shawls. Okay, so here's a number of practitioners, and you can include myself in it. Amazing professional practitioners. Ernest Holmes basically said that we are a teaching order, not a preaching order. We are an order of practitioners. And as I was preparing my thoughts around this subject, basically for the second time, I remembered this practitioner, a very well-known practitioner. She was in the 70s. She's very successful. She's motivational, workshop leader, writer. And she did a lot of work about the human body. And her name is Louise Hay. Remember Louise Hay? All right. Well, she was born October 8th, 1926 in Los Angeles, California. She lived until age 90, where she gently passed away as she slept. And that was August 30th, 2017. And she wrote a number of books. The first one was Heal Your Body. And it was written in 1976. And that book sold 40 million. 40 million. That's amazing to me. And then she wrote the book that I thought about today, You Can Heal Your Life. How many have this book? Okay, good. You Can Heal Your Life. And this sold about 50 million copies in 1984. And one of the things that she did was she attributed mental causes, the thought behind diseases. And it said that with an accuracy of 90 to 95% accuracy. Somebody say, wow. Wow. Yeah. Because if you go to any doctor there, do they tell you, oh, I've got 90% accuracy of what is going on with you? No, because they're practicing. But Louise Hay was affirming, was knowing the truths. Now, interesting story about her backstory is she came from a poor mother. I'm thinking economically poor rather than poor in spirit. And the mother married and gave Louise a stepdad. But there was a lot of violence perpetrated against young Louise and her mother by this stepfather. It's even true that at 5 years old, Louise Hay was assaulted and raped by a neighbor. She's a 5-year-old girl. So she had, I would say, traumatic early childhood. But she persisted. She survived until she started studying the science of mind. Like some of us in this room, we elected to consciously change our thinking and change our lives. Who among us? Look around. This is the majority of us. This is the majority of us. And she did that very same thing, using affirmations and transcendental meditation. Now, it's said that in 1977 to 1978, Louise Hay had an incurable disease. I would like to suggest that every disease is incurable until it's cured. See? Okay. And that was true about Louise Hay. She said that she had, it's said that she had incurable cancer. And she attributed that to holding on to righteous indignation, is holding on to resentment about what went on in her childhood. I mean, could you blame her? No. No. She said that the harsh treatment, the rape, the abuse, all of that contributed to her having this cervical cancer. This that happened so long ago still was demonstrating in her life. She believed. Now the good news is by this time, she was a religious science practitioner. She had written books. She had put together clarity in her own mind about mental attitudes and mental conditions that showed up in the human body, and specifically her human body. So, her story goes through affirmations and transcendental meditation. She really loved that. She cured her own cancer. That's the legend. The doctors couldn't do it. But if you think about it, the doctors didn't cause it. So the transformation occurred at the very place it started, within her mind. Within her mind, according to her. This is what I read that she said. She didn't tell me personally. But she did say this. This is a direct quote. Every part of our body and every function of our body is perfect, is normal, is natural, and beautiful. That's really far from that body shaming that goes on, right? The too fat, the too thin, the too light, the too dark, that whole thing. Every organ in our body is a magnificent expression of life with its own function. Now, have you ever heard about some people that might criticize, I don't know, some part of their body? like it's there with no purpose, with no function, like it's an extra part that we don't need. Yeah, it does sound silly when I say it right here, correct? But somebody you maybe, I don't know, went to school with or something, you heard them say these things to themselves as they looked in the mirror. And so I would say, whose side are we on? Some people shame themselves as if they're their own worst enemy. So if nothing else, choose to honor yourself. Choose to honor your body, no matter what condition your condition is in. Because I'll tell you this, like it or not, it changes. Would that be right? It doesn't stay the same, even if we wanted it to. So the body is not an apology. I say the body is a vehicle for our own transformation. The body supports the indwelling spirit on our journey in and through all phases of life. In and through. Would it be fun with no body? Where would you go to? What would you do to wear your clothes? Wear those fancy shoes Reverend Stacy wears with no body. The shoes don't wear themselves. Think about these things. We get to eat. Isn't that fun? Love that eating. We get to talk. Express ourselves. We get to dance. We get to dress. We get to make a family and make friends. Without the body, you would have a lot of time, but you would not have those things. I don't believe. The perfect body. This is from Ernest Holmes in the Dictionary of New Thought Terms. He said that The perfect body. A spiritual understanding does not mean a denial of the physical body, but an affirmation that it is a body of spiritual ideas. The very body that you have right now. I mean, does anybody have two bodies? Okay. What'd you say, better not? You're not finished with, don't know what to do with the one you got. Why would you have two? Okay, so the body itself is a spiritual idea. And Louise Hay really did prove this, not only in the millions of books or lectures or workshops or people that she treated, and by treatment, it's in the sense of a professional practitioner that does affirmative prayer. She did a lot of work with the people that were diagnosed with AIDS when it was new. Other people were running away and hiding and scared and all of those things, and she understood something that others didn't. That there was a spiritual cause behind all things. And that what Spirit brought, Spirit can change. And she did, and she proved it. So it wasn't only a theory, but this was her practice. The body itself is a spiritual idea. As she says, forever perfect. Don't raise your hands, but just think, do you think you're perfect? Your body's perfect? Do you get up and say, thank you, wonderful body, for waking me up this day? Yes. Every day. Every day. Well, that's great. We need to sit close to her. Really. And I know it sounds funny, but I'm really not kidding, because how do you feel when someone puts you down? Is that fun for you? No. But when people build you up, or they acknowledge the truth about your spirit and your soul and your life, maybe in a moment, a down moment, a disappointing time when you forget. We have practitioners, they raise their hand. They're trained. The same as Louise Hay is trained. To know the truth of who you are. The spirit that takes form. Spiritual, forever perfect, forever harmonious, forever one with the eternal principle that I call God, that we call spirit. You know, a lot of confusion comes around the idea about the mind. When Ernest Holmes is talking about mind, it's spiritual. It means God, first cause, not the brain. Now, the brains are important too, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, but the brain is an organ in the body. Very important. It really is. But who we really are in spirit is so much more than our brain. And God bless us, I don't know what we do without a brain. I know what you say about people that you say have no brain. What's that? Perfection of God is the perfection of every man, of every woman, of every child. Every child. God means that creative principle of which man is. This is Ernest Holmes now. Man, and that was the way they talked at the time this was written, but please excuse the limitation of the language. Every individual is a projection, an emanation, a reflection of the incarnation of spirit. Everyone. The ones you like, the ones you don't. The ones you drive by and they're out on the street, you're calling them homeless. And perhaps they don't have the same kind of home you have, or the same kind of home you'd like to have. Maybe the universe is their home. It's our home, all of us, whether we take care of it or not, whether we appreciate it or not, whether we respect it or not. But Ernest Holmes says the effect, the result, the physical body, I'm saying, must be like the cause. How can the effect be different than the cause? It can't. The only difference is we forget. We forget who we are and what we represent. Let's talk about Louise Hay again for a second. When she developed that cervical cancer, she didn't say, oh, I guess I was wrong about the mental cause back of every condition. She didn't say that. She didn't hide. She made the link from her experience in the world, her trauma as a child, to years later, because of the lack of forgiving, the resentment, the righteous indignation ate away, really, and damaged the physical body. But what she knew is that what thought does create, thought can recreate. You created in the first place. You can change your mind. And I know that's hard. And some people feel it's easier to change lanes in the highway than to change their mind. Yes. The perfection of God is a perfection of man and women. God means the creative principle. The body isn't a fact. You, the thinker, are the cause. You are the answer, and you are the cure. Even if you forgot, or even, it would be easy for her to have forgotten, right? And say, oh no, now that I have cancer, gee, all this stuff, all my years of work, all the healings that have happened, maybe I'm looking at that differently now. She didn't do that. When the going gets tough, the tough get busy. The same thing that had worked yesterday could work today. And sometimes we don't feel it, right? But that's why we're here to support each other. That's what this teaching order is all about. It's not about judging somebody and putting somebody down and all that stuff. You don't need a practitioner for that. You took care of that. That's why you need a practitioner. So, in closing, I'd like to leave with you with this thought. No person, place, or thing has any power over us. Would you affirm that with me? No person, place, or thing has any power over, I'm going to say me, any power over me, any power over me. That's the truth. You're so much more powerful than you know. And very interesting people. They're wonderful people. Their stories are very interesting. They're inspirational. I'm inspired by hearing what you have to tell me. Remarkable. Remarkable. And so I think when you're ready, if you're ready, you can share the good news. You don't have to keep everything a secret. Especially from yourself. This last idea from her is that the truth. We are the only thinkers in our mind. So the invitation is to think a new thought, to realize a deeper truth. to walk as the masters that you are, the master of your own life. So to Louise Hay and all the work, and she, oh, by the way, one other point about curing the cervical cancer. It's written that she outlived everybody who was around at the time of her diagnosis, so the journalists couldn't check out her theory, because they were all gone. She was still here. She didn't succumb from any kind of cancer. She went away gently at 90 years old as she slept. So God bless you. Thank you for being here this morning. Take your act on the road. Let your light shine. And affirm the truth of who you are in that mirror. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Reverend Wanda. She's telling us the truth. Yeah. Notice when you speak, I'm just. Thank God that we have that all on tape. We can buy the CD too. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. You know how I feel.
not only celebrating life today, we're also celebrating in the month of February, Black History Month. I call it American History Month. However, we have another video to show you because we are a teaching order.
Here's a little-known Black history science of mind fact. Jamaican-born Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. is well known as a businessman, journalist, Pan-Africanist, and powerful orator of the early 1900s. As such, he attracted thousands of followers to his Black nationalist movement that became known as Garveyism. As founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, Garvey encouraged African Americans to be proud of their race and promoted cultural identity through his Back to Africa campaign. But did you know that Garvey was also a follower of the New Thought movement, as well as a student of the ideas and philosophies of religious science? In fact, Garvey studied the same New Thought philosophers as religious science founder Ernest Holmes and his brother Fenwick, and often quoted their teachings. He also was inspired by divine science co-founder Nona Brooks. Even the philosophy of transcendentalism, led by writer Ralph Waldo Emerson, resonated with Garvey. He excelled in merging racial philosophical concepts and science of mind principles while addressing the Black condition in America. The strong philosophical beliefs in self-mastery, determination, and willpower that Garvey preached to Black people aligned perfectly with the newly emerging teachings of science of mind. In many of Garvey's speeches and writings, he often urged his followers to get a scientific knowledge of religion. His message was clear: liberate the minds of men, and ultimately, you will liberate the bodies of men. Another instrumental Jamaican in science of mind is Dr. Elma Lumsden, who founded the Temple of Light Church of Religious Science in Kingston, Jamaica in 1981. An engaging speaker and master teacher, Dr. Elma is also known for her simple yet dynamic words of wisdom, such as, until you can walk on water, take a boat. Life is a school, and we're not on holiday. Due to her leadership and diligence, Lumsden helped religious science become recognized as one of 12 key religions in Jamaica. Dr. Elma Lumsden and Marcus Garvey, Black evolutionaries in science of mind.
All right. Thank you all for coming and celebrating with us today. I would like to ask our ministers to please come forward. Reverend Wanda always wants us to take it on the road, huh? That should be part of it. Well, that's what we want to do, connect to the community. I like the way she says it. Well, I'd like to ask our practitioners and any visiting practitioners or ministers to please come forward. You see, Reverend Wanda pointed them out. They have stoles. I always call them something different, but they're stoles. And if you would love to have someone to pray with you today, they are available. Someone to simply talk to today, they are available. If you want to place a prayer request in one of our prayer boxes, there's one here at the front that says God's Pocket, and there's one in the grand hallway also. But they are here for you, and they're always here in support of this center. And we love them and owe them so much you cannot believe. I would like Reverend Wanda to, if you would please stand and connect, and she will give us a benediction.
We're standing on holy ground in a new way today. The invitation is to remember your true spiritual nature. So from this place of awareness of this truth, I'm recognizing the greatness of our life, the divine purpose of the physical body, the realization that as we leave here today, going about our business, we are aware that we are about the Father's business. We are spirit in action in a new way, with a new glow, with a new light, with a renewed love, prosperity, a blessing to ourselves and to each other. We go our way in peace. And for this and so much more, I am truly grateful. And let us say, and so it is.
Let's sing our peace song.